Ruby. We're definitely going to try out autopilot in the new cameras today. I gave you your food up top. You want to move to the cat hotel? Come on, let's go. Tuxie, let's go. You coming? Good boy. I did turn on heating pads last night. It's 49 out here this morning. Good boy. My other boys are doing good too. You get your water inside and refresh it. It's okay, Morris. It's okay. Baby bluebirds ought to be about ready to fly. Been watching the parents come and go quite a bit. It's just about the perfect spring day out here today, even though I'm starting off the day with a light jacket. Last night there was a frog in the cat water bowl. I guess I'd better refresh that water. You hold down the fort. Don't cause no troubles. Mainly just stay away from Stripe and we're all good. Don was out here and dusted off Ruby and got her all ready to go for me. Good morning, Ruby. All right, it's time to see how Ruby's new cameras are gonna do. One of our viewers said it will be interesting to see if she continues to alert as we approach this hill up here, Hilltop Needmore. And I agree. It will take a week or two of not having an alert, though, to know, you know, with a decent amount of confidence that it's gone away. But she would often alert here just past the... Nope, forward collision warning. That had nothing to do with that. I'm trying not to curse. That was so dangerous. And well, part of the problem back there, no, that one had a turn lane. There's a couple of them on this road, like right here on my left, where people can still turn at 55 miles an hour, basically come to a near stop in the left lane and almost causes an accident. But there was a turn lane back there, and I don't think that van was making that transition to the turn lane slow enough to warrant this guy pulling that stupid maneuver that he did. Well, hopefully he'll be a real jerk and he'll just go down the road as fast as he can and totally get away from me. Yeah, this bus was doing 60, and I told Johnny, I said, I don't think it's an official Wake County school bus, and sure enough, it's a bus, but it's not a Wake County bus. So she forward alerted first time through the hill. The different cameras didn't change anything. That pickup truck's a good 20, 30 cars in front of us now, but he's been going lane to lane and then back and forth within his lane. And then I could just tell he got into the turn lane at the Sheets at Banks Road, surged in front of about 10 cars, and right at the stoplight without a turn signal got right back into the line of traffic and kept on going. Which, you know, is totally illegal to use a turn lane as a passing lane like that. And what a piece of work this morning. Hopefully everyone around him will get to work or work school safely. I wish a cop would see him doing those maneuvers. We're on the approach to downtown now, and you know, I'm not seeing a real difference so far one way or the other about how Ruby drives with the new camera. Right now, she seems to be slightly favoring the right. You know, Dawn has this thing with Jules where she tends to slightly favor the left, and I thought Ruby did that too. But right now, if anything, I'd say she's slightly favoring the right. You know, it's a lot perception, and we're talking inches, not feet. It's 53 out there. Auto steer restricted to 40. Yeah, that's why I don't normally do autopilot coming up to the light up here, because the speed limit drops to 35 and nobody does 35, and she'll only do 5 over, and it just kind of gets, you know, it can get to be ridiculous. There's no entrances coming on that bridge, it's a little odd that they've restricted it quite as much as they have. All right, Ruby, I hit the brake. Let's just come to a stop and not wait till the very last minute. I'm sure she would have stopped. I'm just, you know, didn't want her to slam on the brakes that hard. The lawn crew is out here cleaning up after yesterday's storm. You know, we got a trace at the house, and Lillington, which is what, 10-15 miles south, they had 0.8 of an inch, and all the other surrounding areas had at least a 1/2 inch, and we got, you know, it wet the ground. We heard all the lightning, we had the wind gusts. That was just, we missed out on that valuable rain yesterday. I think we're supposed to get some more rain on Saturday, and it could be a longer than shorter event. It's supposed to come through like at 3 a.m. Friday night into Saturday morning, and then sort of stall and continue maybe to rain throughout the day. So hopefully we won't miss out on that rain too, because I get really fussy when I have to start going outside and risking mosquito bites to water plants. I don't mind watering. I hate getting bit by mosquitoes. Wow, it's a little chilly out here in short sleeves this morning. Ruby looks totally clean and pretty. I'm so glad that I didn't take her out in the rain last night. So I am feeling better this morning, but not 100% as far as pain level goes. I can clearly turn my neck side to side now without the pain up here in the back of my shoulder that was happening. But there is still some pain not related to moving my neck. So she definitely helped me out yesterday. I think once things get pulled, because of all of how active I am, it's just very hard for that injury to heal. And Don and I were talking last night that, you know, when we started walking around Memorial Day weekend last year, it's been 11 months we've been walking now very consistently. I'd say we've missed less than 10 days in a year. You know, I originally had my purse on my shoulder and was kind of holding my arm on my purse like it was a sling, just to kind of immobilize it a little bit. And I was trying to remember what led up to that, like was there an event that I remember happening, or I just was having more or less pain, which just seems to be what happens, right? I just sometimes have more or less pain, but at any point I am doing a little bit better, but trying not to do things that will cause it to ramp back up again, because it's pretty uncomfortable when it does that. So I'm here at, obviously, St. Monica's, getting ready to head back to the house. Dawn and I are gonna go for our walk this morning. I have an open morning. Yes. I'll probably come back and work on Legos, although I'm debating the fact that the lawn needs to be mowed again. It's probably not in my best interest to push the mower, but we'll see. How ramped up I feel after our walk can be a little invigorating sometimes. So last night we watched Tesla Daily, I don't know, around 9 p.m. Depends what time Rob releases it, but we usually, right before we watch our television shows or while we're eating, we watch Tesla Daily. And he mentioned the new expose on Elon and Tesla. It's called Elon Musk's Crash Course. And I guess the thing I most want to say about it is, please don't watch it or click on it, because when we do that, we're basically giving advertising dollars to people that are not out in Tesla, or I would even say America's best interest here. It's from FX and the New York Times, and let's see, Emma Schwartz directed it, and Kade Metz and Neil Boudet are the people reporting in the expose, saying they have interviewed previously uninterviewed Tesla employees, and they say that Elon tried to cover up autopilot stuff that happened, autopilot deaths, and yeah, so I mean, obviously I don't think we need to cover up anything, or really I don't think that that's going to be a true statement that things were covered up. One of our Tesla friends said that there's a www.tesladesk.com website. I'll let Rob go. Like I said, I like to let Rob go click on stuff. His one click, and then all the rest of us, and maybe Zach and Jesse's click, and then the rest of us can let them. I really don't want to give them dollars. I just don't, or I don't want to give them hits or clicks, or I don't want to let them know. I just don't. But he said there's been 12 deaths since 2013 under autopilot. 12 in, 9 years. Okay, and that none of them were found to be the fault of autopilot, because pretty much the NHTSA investigates every single one of these. And yeah, so that's not a lot. And there have been 116 total deaths of people in Tesla since 2013 out of 2.5 million cars. And like I said, only 12 of those under autopilot. So one of our friends went out and did a little bit of research, because we, as a Tesla owner, if somebody's going to come after me, and a YouTuber too, going to come after me with these numbers and saying, oh, people die in Teslas, well, I want to be prepared with a response, right? So I've screenshot this and I can pull it up if I need to, and I'm prepared. I think it would probably be fair to say that Elon wanted the car accidents handled in a certain way, as would any auto company, because we tend to be a litigation-happy society, and I understand if you lose a loved one, you want to blame someone, and so the automaker might be the reason why you would do that. I am, on the other hand, though, going to say that, this is a new technology, and I don't expect it to be perfect for Tesla, and I don't expect it to be perfect for Ford or GM or any of those other companies either. So will a few people be injured or possibly die while we are ramping up these technologies and building them? Probably. And that's been the way. I mean, I don't know. I look to the Brooklyn Bridge and how many men died building that bridge, and all the other, putting in the railroads across the country. I mean, every time we have linemen up on the power lines, we have all these safety protocols now, but accidents happen. So I think the assertion that we should be a 100% accident-free society is just not reasonable. So I would be very sorry for anyone that would lose their life to new technologies, but I don't think we can continue to grow as a society if we don't allow any risk whatsoever while developing things. And I do think there are some reasons why developing these technologies in the long run is a good thing for us, whether it's the immediate use of autonomy, say to take older people that can't drive to doctor's appointments, or it's the other fields that these technologies we develop end up helping us in, like the things that we develop for space we use in the medical field, or we use in other engineering fields here on Earth. So anyway, my main point was that thing is out there. I guess I would suggest that you not click on it. It would, so I go back and forth on wanting to be prepared and understanding, and then thinking that I can get that from Now or Tesla Daily or a couple other YouTubers that I would trust to interpret it for me. But I just really don't want to give those ad revenue clicks to these. I'm going to go so far as to say unscrupulous reporting. Yeah, the one guy that Neil, pulling up his name again. Sorry, I've lost it here in the, yeah, the Neil Boudet guy. I'm just, according to his background and his actions in the past, I really am not going to listen to what he has to say. A person out there trying to generate negative press for Tesla is Dan O'Dowd. He is a tech executive. He's running for office in California. In the past, he's spoken out many times on full self-driving being something that should be banned or outlawed. He's spoken out against Tesla. He obviously just doesn't like Elon Musk. And, Yeah, he has a lot of money. He's a billionaire too. He takes out ad campaigns against Tesla. He's running against an incumbent Democrat that's generally thought to be well liked and would probably be reelected. So not only is this guy saying, you know, bad things about Tesla, but he's also hurting that incumbent, a real politician, someone that has been providing service to the state of California, possibly from being reelected. And apparently, when you run for office, you're afforded extra free speech rights, and also your ability to get your ads on TV because it's a political campaign. There's less rules and regulations. It's easier for you to get your opinion out there. And apparently, you know, his whole ticket is we should outlaw full self-driving. So just be aware that he's out there too, and I would also be careful about what you click on with regard to that. He has some commercials and other stuff out there, and other disinformation or hurtful information, and yeah, Dan O'Dowd is a name you should also be aware of and probably steer clear of. It's not that I'm against criticism against Tesla, but vindictive actions to the extent that this person is going to do that is, yeah, I don't want to partake in that. Open discussion and criticism. Elon says he wants his critics to stay on Twitter, is fine, but I don't know. This to me seems abuse of his money and his clout to do something that is a negative, and I don't want to participate in that. Because the camera's hot now, so I mean, I've right in my mouth for 10 minutes. It was interesting yesterday to see the people that said, I'm coming back to Twitter now that Elon owns it and Musk owns it, I'm totally leaving Twitter. It was really interesting. To each their own, right? I've been on Twitter. I'll probably stay on Twitter. I doubt I'll use Twitter more than I do now. I have good people interpreting what I need to know about what's going on Twitter. But it was interesting yesterday. No need to make a formal declaration as if to care that everyone in the world wants to know whether you're on Twitter or not. Either be on it or don't be on it. But I don't need a play-by-play list of all of the players, that how the field is reshuffling afterward. I really don't. We don't need to take sides here. I don't know. The Doomsday book by Bobby Akart that I'm reading, that series, now I'm on book 3, and I am enjoying it. You know, he had asked in this particular series for people to take off their political blinders while reading it because it was going to be offensive, mind stimulating, concerning, informative to people no matter what political side they happen to fall on. And, you know, my feathers may have been ruffled a time or two, but I am reading as asked because, number one, it's quite entertaining and enjoyable, but because he said, you know, he's trying to get my interpretation, he's trying to get people to realize that this increased political polarization that we've done to ourselves in this country is not really in our best interests. And it kind of goes back to how I felt during the last election, where I said to Don, at least, if not to you guys, I really wish there could be some more dialogue about the collective good for all Americans, instead of both sides entrenching and, you know, putting stakes in the ground. And I don't know, I don't feel like we're well served by trying to alienate half of America from the other half of America. And you know, compromise and tolerance are good qualities. So I don't know, but yeah, less polarization would be good. I don't know how this book is going to end up yet, obviously, because I'm in book 3 of 5, but I think he's made some good points, and it sort of supports the feeling that I had that the polarization of America due to the left and right politics is probably not good for us. And I know Elon had made a comment recently, and I'm paraphrasing here, that the 10% on the left and the 10% on the right they do a lot of harm, or you know, we should steer clear. And maybe it's more like 20% in both directions, far leaning. I like moderation. My personality type is a harmonizer, so you can see that for me, the idea that we would be so polarized is a little difficult to tolerate. Marty's such a good boy. He runs over to see me every time I come home, and he meows at me. He's such a good boy. Hey, Mart. It's walk time. Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you.
Hey, Donnie.
Good morning.
It's refreshing out here today.
It's good. I like this. This is fun.
I have my jacket on too.
Yeah, it's a little cool, but it's not cold at all.
No.
My hands aren't cold.
Yeah.
It's sunny.
We'll take it.
The humidity is low. I mean,
Yeah, there's a fire warning again today for low humidity and the wind.
So there she is.
160.
Runner girl.
We ran from the curve coming out of South Park, but just past Ball Field 3 to the end of the trail.
Yeah.
I've never done that before.
Yeah.
I have no idea how far that was.
Down and uphill. Yeah.
Yeah, there was some hills, but I didn't run on any of the worst parts. Or the worst parts were all downhill coming this direction.
Right.
I felt like I needed to push myself. We've just been walking. I'm not going to make my mile by Memorial Day if I don't start doing some more intervals. I think since we had the COVID shot, I haven't felt up to doing it. I hope I'm turning the corner on feeling 100% recovered. It seems to take me a little bit longer than some other people.
Yep.
But I'm here.
She's doing great, I think.
I'm in Ruby and it's 10:20. Don and I got back from our walk just a few minutes ago. Apparently one of Johnny's teachers is out today and he was told that he can leave. So he'd like me to come pick him up. He asked nicely. I was going to mow. I had just told Dawn I was going to do the backyard, down the driveway, and up at the street, but not the front yard. The front yard isn't as bad, and it's harder to see where you've mowed. It would be okay to let it go a few more days, and I can't really do it all at once. So I'm not getting to mow the grass. I shouldn't be upset, right? I might be a little disappointed to not get it over with, knock that chore out. And I got a Lego pirate ship thing I wanted to work on too, which probably wasn't going to happen, but it's on the list somewhere behind required things versus optional things. Anyway, I'm going to pick him up. Maybe it'll work out well. We're supposed to go pick up his tux after school today, and they won't be after school, and maybe it won't be such a long line. So we'll be stopping at the tux place on the way home because prom is Friday. It is definitely good to have autopilot back. I didn't notice any irregularities on the drive home today, and I'm not expecting any on the drive into town. I meant to show you that dash cam clip of that truck, what he did when he came around me, whatever we would be able to see, like from the left side repeater camera. I'll try to remember to do that when I get home this afternoon. I got the Ford collision warning again.
It may take some time.
And the apply slight force, but yeah, so both times today on the hill, and that's a little more than normal. Well, they're really busy over here with the two cranes today. It's kind of neat how they're crossed. As the driver coming over here on the other side, you really can't see anything. I'll point the camera, but coming through that curve at 55, you've got to really be paying attention. Johnny and I just had a scare, a serious. Ruby almost got crunched in between the car in front and the car behind. I do not like getting off of I-40 and getting on US 1 to come over to Cary Crossroads, because the cars on the right are all trying to get left and the cars on the left are all trying to get right, and it's hard merging on a good day at like 55 mile an hour. That's like people are making an X over there. There's accidents there all the time. Today, what the problem was is that the on-ramp to US 1, for whatever reason, had come to a stop. And not, I mean, that happens all the time during rush hour when US 1 is backed up, but it wasn't backed up today. So I don't know why it had come to a stop. And I moved right at normal highway speed, and the 2 cars in front of me moved left out of the way, and then there was a car stopped. And so I stood on the brake and the wheels squealed a little bit, and Ruby stopped plenty clear of the car in front of her. I mean, I didn't have any choice at that point. It was either do that or hit the car. And thankfully, the person in the road behind me, Johnny and I noticed on the footage, which I'll show you in a minute, that their car went, you know, did the sudden stop lurch also. Johnny pointed it out, but they were able to miss me. And then the 2 cars behind him come pretty darn close to the back of him, and they were able to miss him. But it was really upsetting. I live in fear all the time of something happening to Ruby and not being able to get her repaired in a timely manner, or even replace her with an identical vehicle, because I'm not sure that I want a new X. I want Ruby. I mean, I guess I would always be looking for a used car. Probably wouldn't do that. Probably would just deal with the changes. But at any point, it was really scary. It was all I could do to drive us off the interstate, about another 5 minutes to pull into Cary Crossroads here to go get the tux, because I was just kind of distraught about what had happened. And just really, 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 really thankful that we weren't involved in an accident. I feel Johnny and I would have been totally fine. Airbags would have deployed or not. Seatbelts would have held us in place. This car is a tank. But Ruby would have been messed up in the front and the rear, and it wouldn't have been a good thing. It wouldn't have been a good thing at all. So it was just really, really scary. Bad things happen out on the road sometimes. All right, so we're getting off of I-40. We're trying to get over to 164 to go into Cary Crossroads. Everyone around here will know this intersection. Cars are coming off from the right over here, and they almost all want to go left or straight through. And cars where I am, we want to go to the right. That's why we got off here in the first place. If we stayed straight, we just keep on going. And you can see there, I know I was talking, so I'll show you again, but you can see that the traffic up there was at a standstill for no good reason. And I couldn't really see that because of the cars. You know, the cars just moved out of the way, and then there that car was. So let's watch it one more time, and then I'll show you the rear view. There are 2 cars that came up from the right, and yeah, that was just a mess there. I guess they both came from the right and wanted to go left, which was what you would expect, but they had a little trouble the speed they came up dodging that guy too. I'll show you one more time and move from the rear. I guess if we want to say I should have slowed down more on the on-ramp, I won't disagree. But I couldn't see that they were stopped, and then all of a sudden they were there. And it's just, it is what it is. I told Johnny I literally think my butt came out of the seat as I put my foot on the brake to try to slow the car. It was that intense. So this is the rear view. Up here, we're just coming up on the 2 exit signs. And you're going to see the guy behind me. Actually, I was wrong. Right over here is where we're merging. He was behind me the whole time. He got over a little earlier because he didn't have to wait for the other car. And you could see how fast he stopped, and then the 2 cars behind him also came really close to hitting him. So I really appreciate the rogue driver behind me not hitting me, because I had to do that emergency braking stop there. I have no idea if Ruby assisted me in any way whatsoever. I did not hear any alert during the incident from her. I was not in autopilot at the time. really, I wasn't. I was driving. I knew I was going to take that exit. I knew she really couldn't handle the getting over in that merge properly and going there. I mean, I've done it before, and she doesn't handle it very well, so I had taken her out of autopilot. Maybe autopilot would have been slower on the ramp. I don't know. Today she seemed to be slowing down pretty late for stoplights.
Oh, that's
wow,
cool.
they really got some speed traps set up here on Holly Springs Road today. It's 35, and folks really don't like to go 35 over here. Wow. I wasn't filming for the first motorcycle cop and patrol car, but I was for, and how can you get stopped when, like, you've already gone past several? I guess you think, holy moly. Goodness gracious. Well, people do need to obey the speed limit, I guess. But this is Holly Springs, not Fuquay. Fuquay's, you know, south of here. We're headed into Fuquay now. Wow. Will there be one more, Johnny?
I bet two more.
I don't know. The speed limit over here is 35, and I find that people have a really hard time doing 35. So... anyway, I was just going to say that Johnny and I were at the Tuxedo Place, the men's warehouse, for close to right at 2 hours. They were understaffed, overworked, and it took a long time. They were multitasking, and we did finally have the assistance of one associate that was super, super helpful. But we ended up having to have Johnny's tux altered a bit. The tux sleeves were too long, and the vest was the wrong size, and the button on the jacket could stand to be moved a little bit. And we paid good money for the rental, so they're gonna have it done by 1 tomorrow. Hopefully they do, because if I get over there and it's not done and we have to wait 2 hours again, I may implode, explode. I did good today with my patients, but that was long. That was long. So, but we will stop tomorrow. We got a haircut scheduled for Johnny tomorrow, and then pictures at WRL Azalea Gardens before the prom. So I will have a good picture to show you guys, and maybe a little video too. But we got to get it just right before we're ready to show the tux. So this pirate ship set 31109 was in the last bin or so that I got from Guardian Angel, and I think this is most of the parts that are missing off the top of the ship, and I'm going to try to reconstruct it. It does have this building that you can make instead, and I'm tempted. I really am. But since the ship is this far together, I'm going to put it back together, and I can always decide to try to do the building. Almost done with the pirate ship. I've got one mast to go. I'll do that after dinner. It is time for fajita night. Alright, it's all done. Sometimes it takes longer than you would think to put stuff back together when it's half apart. I only had to hunt down a few pieces, not very many at all. Most of what was built that was together was correct, so I didn't have to fix too much today either. It's pretty cool. It's got, you know, little window flaps that open, and cannons in here that actually, I guess those are cannon holes for the cannon. Inside that it actually shoots little pellets, and I don't know. It's really cool that all the minifigures were here and all the specialty little sail bricks and everything. So it came together.